Hi guys, this is Rainer, and we're for Team Nossiel. I'm going to show you the spoiler for Cosmo Blazer, so if you don't want to know before the sneak peek, don't really watch the rest of this video, other than the fact that at the end I will be announcing a prize giving tournament, so just keep an eye on it. We will, I'll just start going through it. It seems to be a very good set. Most people are looking really forward to it. This is the sneak peek promo card, Noble Arms Caliburn. See if I can zoom in for you. There we go. Its effect, you can only control one face-up Noble Arms Caliburn. Equip only to a warrior type monster. It gains 500 attack. Once per turn you can gain 500 life points. If this card face-up card in the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one warrior type Noble Knight monster you control and equip this card to that target. You can only use that effect once per turn. So it's actually not too bad. For the sneak peek it'll be handy, as long as you pull a couple of warrior type monsters, but it's not too bad. So that's first up, and everyone will get this for going to the sneak peek. It's not too bad for a super in the set as well. And if you hadn't already known, this is the first set since Cybernetic Revolution to be printed in Portuguese as well. So that's another language to be printed in Europe. I'll not go through the commons quite so much, we'll just have a quick glance at them. Dododo Bot. Is that actually any good? It's 1800, 1900, it's not too bad. Cannot be normal summoned, but can be normal set. If this card attacks, it is unaffected by other card effects until the end of the damage step. So you set it and then flip it. That's not too bad for the sneak peek. Go Ghost. It's quite nice art. It's a level 4 zombie 1900. If it's special summon, you can target one Go Golem in your graveyard and special summon it. So basically it's going for Xyz, Go getting some support. Bacon Saver. Okay, I like the name of that one already. During either player's battle step, when a monster battles another monster, you can banish a card from your graveyard and negate that attacking monster's attack, but you can only use it once per duel. It's not too bad, it's just a bit random. That's just not very good. You can banish this card from your graveyard once per turn during your... You can normal summon or set a monster with one less tribute than required. Not very good. Right. I'll have a quick look at the ZW stuff, seeing as there isn't a Z for them. You can target one face-up Utopia monster you control. Equip this card from your hand or side of the field to that target. It gains 1200 attack. That's not too bad for a start. While this card is equipped to a monster, ZW card you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So, while it's equipped, it can't be killed by your opponent's card effects. That's pretty good. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by a card effect, destroy this equipped card instead. That's actually really rather good. It's a shame it's a level 5, but as it says, you can equip it from your hand. So that's not too bad. ZW Tornado Bringer. You can target one face-up Utopia monster you control. Equip this card from your hand or side of the field to that target. It gains 1300 attack this time. While this card is equipped to a monster, the equipped monster cannot be targeted by your opponent's spells, traps, or card effects. And the same, if it's destroyed by battle, you can destroy this instead. So if you have them both equipped, you've pretty much got a 5000 attack Utopia that can't be destroyed or targeted. And if it is destroyed or by battle, you can just destroy one of the equipped spells instead, which is absolutely not too bad. Ultimate Shield. Okay, we're playing this game as well now. When this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can target one of your banished Xyz monsters, special summon that target in face-up defense position. You can target one Utopia monster you control, equip this card you control to that target. So basically, your Utopia is banished, you equip your Ultimate Shield to it, it's 3,500 defense. It's not too bad. It's still not great. We'll start going through these a bit more quickly now. Show you the pictures of the commons, if they're worth noting, I'll say. If you control a Gaga monster except Gaga Cleric, you can special summon this card from your hand. Super rare, it's not too bad. It won't be particularly useful for a sneak peek, I don't think, but Gaga players might like it. Spear Shark, it's 1600, it's not too bad. Double Shark, more for Xyz. It's not too bad, it's not great, and that's not great either. Right, let's just get on to some more Yeah, so we'll get on to the Hyper Ancient thing first, which is actually really rather good. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Although it has to inflict battle damage, so if you're inflicting battle damage, chances are they're not going to have another face-up attack monster that you can, or a monster that you can destroy. It's not too bad. It's 2900. It'll be boss for the sneak peek if you get it. So if you do get this card, put it in your deck for the sneak peek. It's quite nice art. Next we have Heraldic Beast Basilisk. It's 1000 attack. It doesn't seem great. After damage calculation, if this card battled an opponent's monster, destroy that monster. That's not too bad. Heraldic Beast Eel, 1800 defense. If you control 2 or more Heraldic Beasts, you can special summon this from your hand. Not too bad. Twin-headed Eagle. That's more Xyz based. So, and that's for, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one psychic Xyz monster you control. No, it's psychic Xyz in your graveyard. Sorry, special summon that target. Its effects are negated. It's all right. And Leo, which is 2000 attack rare. During the end phase of the turn, this card was normal summon. Destroy this card. When this card is sent to the graveyard, add one Heraldic Beast monster from your deck to your hand apart from himself, and it can only be used once per turn. That's not too bad. 2000 attack's pretty good. Might be useful in sneak peek. Right, now we're on to garbage stuff. This will probably be terrible. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and one Garbage Lord, which is the other one we're about to look at, from your deck to your hand, and you can only use that once per turn. Garbage Lord, level 5, 2/4 defense. You can special summon this card from your hand by paying 2000 life points. That's not too bad, and it can't be used in Xyz material except for the Xyz summon of a dark monster. But it's 2/4 defense, so you can pay 2000, summon it in defense. It's going to be a wall for a while. It's alright. It might be useful in sneak peek. Definitely not in competitive play though. Right, this Orbital 7, I've had a look at this one already. This is one of the few ones I've actually had a look at. And I'm not seeing, unless... Oh, we'll have this advert paused. Photon and Galaxy support. It's when it's flipped face up, place a Roger counter on this card. You can remove all Roger counters from this card. This card's attack becomes 2000, but it can't attack directly and sent to the graveyard during the end phase, which is like... What's the point? You can tribute this card to target one Photon or Galaxy monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. I'm assuming that's the bit that makes it worthy of being a super rare, and it was an ultra rare in Japan, so I'm not seeing it, but it might be good. I'm just not a big fan of Photon or Galaxies, but Photon support. I suppose Galaxy is only for Galaxy eyes, isn't it? Then we have the Brotherhood stuff. Now this Fire Fist stuff is where it gets interesting, because I've been playtesting this on DN, so I know exactly what to talk about with these. Right, Hawk. This is a very good card. Oh, adverts. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, you can set one Fire Formation spell card directly from your deck. And while you control a Fire Fist Formation spell or trap card, all Fire Fist monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. It's not too bad. It's level 3 is the only issue, but you can work around that. Raven's the better one. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can set one Fire Formation spell card directly from your deck, and face-up Fire Formation spell cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. It's 1800 defense, so for a turn 1 play, it's not bad as just a set it 1800 wall. If it's sent to the grave, if they do manage to kill it, you set your Fire Formation spell card, which sets you up for plays next turn. So Hawk and Raven are actually not too dissimilar, but I prefer Raven. Raven's better, in my opinion. Gorilla, this is really quite a good card. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard, you can set a Fire Formation spell card from your deck. Once per turn, you can send one face-up Fire Formation spell or trap card you control to the graveyard to target a spell or trap card in the field and destroy it. There's a theme going on here, you may have noticed. We'll look at the Fire Formation spell and trap cards later on when we get to them. They're not that far away. Bear, this is when it does essentially the same thing, apart from when it inflicts battle damage. And you can send a face-up Fire Formation spell or trap card to destroy a monster instead. Ultra rare, it's going to be good. This deck is really solid, is something I've got to say. It's very difficult to beat. It's not... You can't... Ryo doesn't affect it because it just sets them to the back row. And with each of the Fire Formation spell and trap cards, all the Beast Warriors gain 100 attack or 300 attack. So they all gain attack points. So it's really hard to get over them. That's the other bear. Dragon, this is actually really good. Once per turn, if you activate a fire formation spell or trap card, except during the damage step, you can set a fire formation trap card directly from your deck. And you can send 2 face-up fire formation spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard to target a fire fist monster in your graveyard apart from one named himself and special summon it. He's 1800 though, rather than the last 2 being 1600s. So he's definitely worth using. I run 3 of him, 3 bear, and 1 gorilla. And I don't run these 2. Once per turn, if a fire formation spell or trap card is sent to your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can set 1 fire formation trap card directly from your deck. You can send 2 face-up fire formation spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard, draw 1 card, but you have to have no other monsters. So I'm not keen on Snake. It's alright. I can see you could run it, but I think Dragon's better. And I'm running I always like to run decks like this with Rabbit, so I'm running Rabbit. And this is like a boss monster, I guess. You can special summon it from your hand by sending 3 face-up fire formation spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard. When it's normal summon or special summon, you can set 1 fire formation trap card from your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. Face-up beast warrior monster cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. It's alright, not great. So basically, you're looking at bear, dragon, gorilla, and raven. So 3 ultras, 3 supers, 1 rare, 2 or 3 commons. But they're really worth using, trust me. This deck could get big. Right, and now we're on to the Hazy Flame stuff, which doesn't seem like they've done much with it in this, but it's alright. It's a pain to get over. This one's, you can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack becomes 1000. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 hazy card from your deck to your hand. Hazy Flame Griffin. If your opponent controls a monster, all the monsters, if any, on your side of the field in your graveyard are fire and only fire. You can special summon this card from your hand, and your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. They're all level 6, so you need to special summon them. This one's really good. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. You can declare 1 card type, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Then, if it was the right, you can special summon 1 fire monster from your hand or graveyard. So basically, you get another one out. And Periton cannot be special summoned except by a Hazy Flame monster's effect. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. You can send 1 fire monster from your hand to the graveyard and tribute this card, special summon 2 Hazy Flame monsters from your deck. It's really good. The deck, it's just missing something. Now we're to the Mermail stuff. Abyssdine. I'm pretty sure this is the super one. Yeah, this is the super one. When this card is added from your deck or graveyard to your hand by a card effect, if you control a face-up Mermail monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a Mermail monster, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Mermail monster in your graveyard and special summon it. You can only use this once per turn. It's not bad. I'm not overly sold by it, but I'm assuming someone will be, and it'll be teched. That's the thing with the Mermails now. They've got options like these, so they can tech stuff. They don't have to tech these things. Or they didn't have the option to tech stuff before because there wasn't enough support. But now there is. This is just a common, so I'm assuming it's not great. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can discard a water monster to the graveyard, special summon a Mermail from your deck and face up defense position. You can only be used once per turn. Yeah, it's not great. This is a secret though, so it's a boss monster. You can discard 3 other water monsters to the graveyard to special summon it from your hand. When you do, you can target 1 Abyss spell or trap card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can tribute 1 other face-up attack position Mermail monster, send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Abyss Lead once per turn. I don't think it's great, especially with a card we'll be looking at later on. There's a better card in this set that they've had as a TCG exclusive, which it's much better than that. I think the fact that it says 3 other water monsters makes it too high a cost. So Abyss Lead for me, not too good. I might be proved wrong, hey ho. We've got the prophecy stuff. Both supers, Fool of Prophecy. Once per turn, you can send 1 spell card from your deck to your graveyard during the end phase of the turn that this card was activated. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 level 5 or higher dark spellcaster monster from your deck. And you must have 5 or more spellbook cards with different names in your graveyard to activate and resolve this effect. It's pretty good. But Prophecy just seemed to be getting more and more and more support. It's getting annoying because we've seen a couple of cards from Lord of the Tatching Galaxy, and it's crazy. When this is a Reaper. When this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can activate this effect. Apply as many effects as possible based on the number of spellbooks in your graveyard with different names. 3 or more, this card gains 600 attack, which would make it 26, which is pretty big. 4 or more, add 1 spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. That's also pretty good. 5 or more, special summon 1 level 5 or higher dark spellcaster monster from your deck. So, you can only use the effect of Reaper once per turn, thank God, otherwise you would just get 3 out. But you could easily get this one out, and then get another one out, and then you're going straight into a rank 6. It's pretty good, but I think it's a slightly different build from what's around currently. And I think we're pretty much just leading up to the Xyz now with some random stuff that you'll get stuck with in the sneak peek. Brushfire Knight. When another fire monster you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, summon 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard, and when this card on the field is... Oh, that's just... I'm not going to go over that, it's terrible. Ditto. Oh, this has got 1900. A warrior, that's pretty good. Your opponent cannot target face-up warrior monsters for an attack, except this card, or a card with this name. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can banish both this card and 1 other warrior type monster from your graveyard. Target 1 level 5 or higher warrior monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That must be... yeah, it's a super. I was about to say, that seems pretty good. So that's actually not too bad a card. So if you pull that, it's not... If it had more support, or if it was an archetype, it'd be good, but... And here we go. This is the Elemental Lord for Fire. I don't think it's particularly good. I wouldn't be using it in Fire Fist or any of the fire decks, but... You can only be special summoned when you have 5 fire monsters in your graveyard and cannot be special summoned in other ways. When it's special summoned, target 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and inflict damage to both players equal to half of its original attack. You can only use this once per turn, and if it leaves the field, skip the battle phase your next turn. It's 28. I don't think it's good. I think it's... If it was just burn your opponent for that much damage, it's really good and worth using, but it's not. It's the fact it does both players and only half. I'm just not sold by it at all. Right, and then we're on to some of the random commons. Yeah, these are the commons and short prints. It's 2900 attack, that's not too bad. You can normal summon this card by attributing 1 monster. If you do, during each of your end phases, take 1000 damage. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Yeah, you want to pull this for your sneak peek. It's 2900, so even as a 2 sacrifice, it's good. But the fact you can attribute 1 monster to do it, and then you just take 1000 in each of your end phase, that doesn't matter, because you're going to be doing more than 1000 damage with each attack, in theory. And Leon Tor, if this card battles a non-normal monster, it gains 500 attack during the damage step only, so it's 2000, that's pretty good. Star Drawing, this is one of the short prints. If it was used for an Xyz summon, you can treat it as a level 5. An Xyz monster that was summoned using this card as an Xyz material gains the effect when it is Xyz summoned, draw 1 card. It's not too bad. And Red Dustin, or Duston. This card cannot be tributed or used for a fusion, synchro, or Xyz summon. When this card on the field is destroyed, inflict 500 damage to its controller. You can only control 1 face-up Red Dustin. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Right, now, Xyz. I'll just go and get them all. I may as well. Right. Number 92. Heart Earth Dragon. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Oh, is that the... Yes, it is. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card. Sorry, I'm going to have to scroll down. During your opponent's end phase, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, banish all cards that your opponent normal summon, special summon, or set this turn. If this card is destroyed while it has an Xyz material, you can special summon it from the graveyard. When you do, it gains 1000 attack for each card currently banished. It's 3 level 9s, it's difficult to get out in theory. But then we look at number 53, Heart Earth. Once per turn, it's like 3 level 5s, it's still not easy to get out, but it's easier. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, this card gains attack equal to the original attack of the attacking monster until the end phase. If this face-up on the card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach 1 Xyz material from it instead. When this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect while it has no Xyz materials, you can special summon one number 92 Heart Earth Dragon from your extra deck and attach this card from the graveyard as its Xyz material. That's pretty good. I'm not going to go into it any further, but they're not too bad. They're both fairly difficult to get out, but I'm assuming someone will find some way to do it. ZW Leo Arms. 3000 attack, 2 level 5s. Pretty good. This card cannot attack your opponent directly. Kind of a bummer. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, add one ZW monster from your deck to your hand. You can target one face-up Utopia monster you control, equip this card to it, and it gains 3000 attack. During the battle phase, if the equipped monster attacks, you can send this equipped card to the graveyard. During this battle phase, the equipped monster can attack an opponent's monster once again. It's alright. If you're using, I'm assuming this ZW stuff will be usable now because of the support in this. Right, Fire King. This is ridiculous. Tiger King, sorry. This is a ridiculously good card. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. When it's Xyz summoned, you can set one Fire Formation spell or trap directly from your deck. It's the only effect I seem to ever use, but it's nice to have these other ones. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card and negate the effects of all face-up effect monsters currently on the field except the Beast Warrior types until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's pretty good. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 3 face-up Fire Formation spell or trap cards you control to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior type monsters with the same attack from your deck in face-up defense. So basically, if it dies, you can send your Fire Formation stuff from your field to the graveyard, special summon another 2. Even if they kill one, you don't care, because you can just summon another one and then get another Tiger King out, or another Xyz out. It's a ridiculously good card. But we'll show you the Fire Formation spell and trap cards in a minute, and then you'll see why they're good. Hazy Flame, Basil Trice. What rarity is this now? It's just a rare. Okay, so they're not hyping this as much as I thought they would be. Right, this is 2 or more, maximum 5 level 6 fire monsters as materials. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card to target one monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. Banish that target. That's pretty good. This card gains effect based on the number of Xyz materials attached to it. It's 2/5 already, bear in mind. 3 or more. This card gains 200 attack and defense for each Xyz material attached to it. So if you have 5, it's going to be 3/5. Or if you have 3, it's going to be 3/1. That's pretty good. If you got 4, it can't be targeted by your opponent's card effects. That's pretty good. And then it would be 3/3 as well. And if you've got 5, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Nor can it be targeted by your opponent's card effects. And it would be 3/5. Which basically means it's 3/5, it's indestructible, essentially, unless they're going to kill it in battle. Because they can't target it with Compulse, they can't destroy it with Mirror Force, or they can't target it with Deprison either, so it's exceedingly difficult to get out. Or to kill, sorry, but you'd need to have 5 out for it to be of any good. But as I showed you, it's not that difficult to get out. Right, this card is really good. I'm assuming it's just a super now. Yeah, it's just a super. 3 level 3 monsters, you're never going to do that. During either player's turn, when your opponent targets exactly one face-up Mermail monster you control for an attack or with a spell or trap card effect that could have targeted this card, you can detach one Xyz material from this card. That attack effect now targets this card. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one Mermail monster in your graveyard except something called itself, special summon it. That's alright, it's alright. It's 1600 attack, 2/8 defense, it seems pretty good. Then you say the word Bahamut Shark, and basically you go Bahamut Shark, detach your Dragoons, search, special summon Abystrite, and you've got a 2/8 wall that when they do kill, you end up special summoning Mermail from your bin. That seems pretty good to me. Diamond Dire Wolf. This is like a Scrap Dragon Xyz, basically. 2 level 4s, it's 2000, 1200. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card to target one Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast type monster you control on one other card on the field, destroy them. So if you're using Fire Fist or the Harpy stuff next set, it's really easy to be able to just kill a card that you're worried about. Right, this was Lightning Clover. I'm assuming it's Lightning Chidori, but it might not be, because it was a translation from Italian by the looks of things. 2 level 4 wind monsters, it's 1900, 1600. When this card is Xyz summoned, target one set card your opponent controls, return to the bottom of the deck. Once per turn, you can detach one Exi material from this card to target one face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the top of the deck. Which is actually a really good card. And Slacker Magician, 2 level 1 monsters. Finally, what everyone's been asking for. 200 attack, 2-1 defense. Perfect. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Even better. When this card is targeted by a spell or trap card or card effect, you can detach one Exi material from this card and negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. That sounds pretty much perfect. What everyone's been asking for a level or a rank 1 Exi. And it's only a rare, which is even better. Right, now, I'm really going to have to try and speed up on this because we're only just over halfway. So I'll just grab all the spells because I'm assuming there's not going to be that many worth talking about. And that's it. Right. Your opponent cannot target a face-up attack position once with 0 attack for attacks. That's not very good. Gaga draw. Banish 3 Gagagas in your grave. Draw 2 cards. Pretty good. Exi double back. If you control no monsters and an Exi monster you control was destroyed this turn, target one Exi from your graveyard that was destroyed this turn, and one of the monsters in your graveyard whose attack is less than or equal to the attack of the destroyed monster, especially when those targets destroy them in the end phase. Doesn't seem good to me. Heraldry Reborn. Target one Heraldic Beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Basically means Heraldics can run 4 Monster Reborns. Seems pretty broken. Right, Tensu. I'm going to talk about this. During your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Beast Warrior type monster in addition to your normal summoner set. All Beast Warrior, you can only gain that effect once per turn, even if you have more Tensus. All Beast Warrior type monsters you control gain 100 attack. Basically, so once you've used your beast, its attack directly, it's done damage, you set your Tensu, you flip your Tensu, then you can summon something else, you can overlay for your Tiger King, you can then set the card we're about to look at next, use it, and add another Fire Fist monster from your deck to your hand, or a Vorse Raider or something like that. Really good card. Tenki. When this card is activated, you can add 1 level 4 lower Beast Warrior type monster from your deck to your hand. All Beast Warrior type monsters you control gain 100 attack. You can only activate 1 Tenki per turn. That's pretty good. Nothing more to be said about that. You can see the combos with it. It's really good. Hazy Pillar. You can normal summon Hazy Beast monsters for 1 less tribute. You can once per turn you can target 1 Exi monster you control, attach 1 Hazy Flame monster from your hand or your side of the field to that Exi monster as an Exi material. I don't know why they changed it from Haze. What was wrong with Haze? Why did Konami do this? Abyss Scale of the Cetus, or Cetus, or Ketus, or whatever. Equip only to a Mermail. It gains 800 attack when the effect of a trap card that was activated on your opponent's side of the field resolves. Negate that effect, then send this card to the graveyard. This card is broken. Spellbook of the Master. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you can reveal 1 other spellbook card in your hand to target 1 spellbook normal spell card in your graveyard except Spellbook of the Master. This card's effect becomes that target's effect. You can only activate 1 Spellbook of the Master per turn. Basically, the play goes: summon Spellbook Magician, add, for example, a card that gives 1,000 power, Spellbook of Power. Add a Spellbook of Power. Now you're at, or you play your Star Hall first. You play your Star Hall. Then you play your Power, so it's now at 16. And when it destroys something by battle, you search for something. Then you play Spellbook of the Master, it does the same thing. So you're now at 27, and you're going to search 2. Then you play your field spell, and then you attack. So you're searching another 2. So you could search another Spellbook of the Master and another Spellbook of Secrets, for example. It's absolutely crazy what this thing can do. And with a card that comes out in Lord of the Tatchin Galaxy, makes this even worse. I don't know how they can get away with just keep printing more and more support for this stuff. It's crazy. Right, the rest I think is fairly straightforward. The Big Cattle Drive. That had a really cool Japanese name. Why have they changed it? If you control a Beast, Beast Warrior and or Winged Beast type monster, draw 1 card for each of those types you control. You cannot activate the effects of other spell or trap cards the turn you activate this card. The only thing I can see this being useful for in maybe is Glad Beasts, because it doesn't really care, because you've got your Glad Bee, your Laquaris, a Beast Warrior, and then you've probably got other types as well, but I'm assuming it's just a common. Yeah. March of the Monarchs. Tribute summon monsters you control cannot be destroyed or targeted or destroyed by card effects. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck. Quick Booster. This could be usable eventually. Target one quick play spell in your graveyard except Quick Booster. Shuffle it into the deck. When this card on the field is destroyed by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add one quick play spell card from your deck to your hand except Quick Booster. It's similar to Silver Sentinel. It's for the bluff, and you gain something from it. I'm not keen, but it's an ultra. After the storm, if there are no other cards on the field, target one water or wind monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. It's alright, it's not great. Goblin Circus. During each of your end phases, reveal the card at the bottom of your deck, then either place it on the top of your deck or banish it face down. I've had an argument with someone on the Facebook group about this, on the Facebook page, because they said, oh, this will be really good for any deck, because you can... it was for Rabbit he was suggesting. Oh, if I get the Rabbit, I can banish it, and then leviate it next turn. I said, no, because it's face down. It's completely gone, you can't get it back. And he's like, oh yeah, it's terrible then. And it is. Now we're on to the traps of the set. So we'll just grab all of them. We've got another couple of fire formation things in here. And we have probably one of the best generic trap cards I've seen in a set for a while. Dimension Gate. When this card's activated, target one monster you control, banish it face up. When your opponent monster declares a direct attack, you can send this face up card in the field to the graveyard. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon the monster banished by this effect. Not seeing the point in that. Well, I suppose it can hide something for a turn. Exceed Dimension Splash. If this set card is banished, you can special summon 2 level 8 water monsters from your deck. Their effects are negated and they cannot attack or be attributed. Meh. Heraldry Change. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, special summon Heraldic Beast from your hand and then end the battle phase. That's pretty good. It's not even a direct attack, it's just an attack. I can see that being played in Heraldics. Fire Formation Tensin. Now, here's something interesting. When this card is activated, target one Beast Warrior type monster you control. It gains 700 attack until the end phase. This attack gain remains even if this card leaves the field. So even if you play it, and then they MST it, your monster still gains 700 attack until the end of the turn. All Beast Warrior monsters gain 300 attack while it's on the field. So basically you activate it and your monster gains 1000 attack till the end of the turn, then it's plus 300 permanently while this is on the field. It's really good. Tenkin. This is just as good. I can't believe all the fire formation spells and traps are commons. It's really good. Activate only during main phase 1. When this card is activated, target one Beast Warrior type monster you control. During this phase only, its effects are negated. Also, it is unaffected by the effects of cards other than this card. This effect applies even if this card leaves the field. All Beast Warrior type monsters you control gain 300 attack. Really good. So basically you can just make something hide for a turn and it gains attack. Seems good. I don't use this, but it's just because I don't run enough fire formation stuff for it to be worthwhile. Banish 7 fire formation spell and trap cards from your graveyard. Special summon as many Fire Fist monsters as possible from your graveyard. Then you can set fire formation spell trap cards directly from your deck, except one's called itself, up to the number of monsters special summoned by this effect. Seems like you'd have to have 3 of each of the fire formation stuff to be able to make that even work. And I don't like doing that, but this is a rare for some reason. Hazy Glory. You can normal summon Hazy monster for 1 less tribute, so same as a spell card. You can send this face-up card from the field to graveyard, target one Hazy card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Not too bad. Abyss Scorn. Target one face-up Mermail monster you control, it gains 1000 attack until the end phase. When this set card is sent to the graveyard, target one monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. Spike Shield with Chain. Target one face-up monster on the field, equip this card to that target, it gains 500 attack. If the equipped monster is targeted for an attack while in defense position, it gains defense equal to the attack during damage calculation only. Pretty good. That'll be good for the sneak. Xyz Tribal Rivals. Face-up Xyz monsters with 2 or more Xyz materials cannot be destroyed by card effects. After damage calculation, if a Xyz monster you control with 2 or more Xyz materials battle the opponent's monster, destroy the opponent's monster. Now, interesting stuff. Breakthrough Skill. Target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. Negate the effects of that opponent's face-up monster until the end of this turn. During your turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to target one face-up effect monster your opponent controls. Negate that target's effect until the end of the turn. So basically it's almost like an effect veiler that you can use twice. So a really good card. I can either see it being mained or sided. It's got a use in the meta. Durac Impact. If you control a face-up dinosaur-type monster with 25 or 100 or more attack, destroy all cards on the field. It's alright. Denied. I'm assuming that's supposed to be some play on the word denied. When your opponent special a monster, roll a 6-sided die and return any number of those monsters whose level equals the die result to the hand. Oh, well, that's never going to happen. Lovely. Right, now, exclusives. There's 20 of them, so we'll just grab all 20 just now and try and get through these quickly, as this already is 35 minutes long, and I'm assuming most of you will already have gone away and just looked at this yourself, but I'm going to stick it out because someone might be interested. Noble Knight Medrat. This is a secret. When this card is a normal monster... this card is treated as a normal monster while face upon the field. While equipped with a Noble Arms equipped spell, this card becomes an effect monster with these effects. This card becomes dark and its level is increased by 1. Once per turn, if you control no other monsters, you can special summon one Noble Knight monster from your deck in face-up defense position, except Noble Knight Medrat, and if you do destroy one equipped spell card you control. Very good card for Noble Knights, it makes them playable. Hazy Flame Manticore. Your opponent cannot target this card. With card effects, once per turn during either player's turn, you can send one fire monster except this card from your hand, or face-up from your side of the field to the graveyard. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. It's really good. Now, this is the card I was on about. Mermail Abistius. Or Abistius, or Abist. I think it's Abistius is how you say it. 1700 attack, 2/4 defense. It's not an attacking card. You can discard one other water monster to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. So it's already the cheapest of the Mermail boss monsters, we'll call them. Special summon this card from your hand. When you do, add one level 4 or lower Mermail monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Abistius once per turn. So you could discard your Dragoons, search your Megalo and your Abyss Pike, for example, especially when you're Abistius, Pike, and ditch another thing, and you can do your Undyne then, and send your Dragoons, and then you get something else, and then you've got your Megalo out. It's ridiculously easy to just get to thin the deck and make it what you want to be in your graveyard and on the field. And it also opens up rank 7 Xyz really easily. So that's a really good card. I think it'll see play. When people are running 3 Megalo, I think they'll take 1 Megalo out and play this. Just because I think there is the situation where you don't want to have the 3 Megalo and you'd rather have one of these. And that's the ultimate rare one. Bonfire Colossus. If you control a fire monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. When this card is special summoned, target 2 fire monsters you control, destroy them. It's not great. Not for a sneak peek anyway. It might see a tech play at some point. Mystic Fairy Elfuria. I'm pretty sure this is a secret. It is. Yeah, secret. Oh, that Bonfire Colossus was a secret. Oh, that's disappointing. Anyway, once per turn, you can reveal one wind monster in your hand until your opponent's next phase. Neither player can Xyz summon using monsters with a different level than the revealed monster as Xyz materials. So if you know your opponent's playing Rabbit, you can call 3 or 4 and hope for the best. It's alright. Right, now, here's another Noble Knight thing that'll make them very playable. 2 level 4 Noble Knights. When this card is Xyz summoned, you can target up to 3 Noble Arms equipped spell cards with different names in your graveyard and equip them to this card. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, destroy any number of spell and trap cards on the field up to the number of Noble Arms equipped spells you control. Really good card. At 2000 base attack, it's gonna see play. Infernal Flame Vixen. 2 level 4 Pyros. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card. It gains 500 attack until your opponent's next end phase. When this card with 2400 or more attack is destroyed, target 3 monsters in your graveyard and banish them. In the graveyard, sorry. So I think it's supposed to be the equivalent of Snow Dust Giant for fires. I think. Spell Wall. I think this is just is it a common? Yeah, it's common. You can apply one of these effects. Your opponent takes no damage this turn. This turn, the summons of spellcaster type monsters can not be negated, and when a spellcaster monster is summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Target one face-up spellcaster monster on the field. If it attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Kickfire. Once per turn, when a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, place 1 counter on this card for each destroyed fire monster. During each player's standby phase, you can send this card to the grave. Either player's standby phase, you can send this card to the graveyard and inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent for each counter on this card. Crimson Sunbird. I just remember it from Forbidden Memories. Ignition Beast Volcanon. It's just a machine and a pyro. When it's fusion summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and also destroy this card. Then if both monsters were destroyed, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the monster in the graveyard that was targeted by this effect. So, it's not too bad. I won't see play, but... Noble Knight Joan. Is this a... It's just a rare. If this card attacks, it loses 300 attack during the damage step only. When this card is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or by card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, target one level 4 or lower warrior type monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Might see Tekken Heroes. I don't know. It might. It's a warrior, so it might well do. Crimson Blader. This is well better than it being a rare, but it's a rare. Level 8 Synchro. What are Synchros? One tuner, one non-tuner, so it's generic. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn. That seems pretty good to me. Especially if you're playing against mermails or something like that. It's 2/8 attack, so it's going to be hard to get over it without a spell or trap card. Infinity Archer has been something that's been needed and released for a while. When you have no cards in your hand, this card can attack your opponent directly. It's terrible, but it might be good in the sneak. It's going to be, I think it's a common. It's either a common or rare. It's a rare, so it's not too bad. Black Wings, or some Black Wing support. I don't think it's any good. Gladius. If the only face-up monster you control is a Black Wing monster except Gladius, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. Not very good to me. Damascus, the Polar Knight. During either player's turn, that you can discard this card to target one face-up Black Wing monster you control. That target gains 500 attack until the end phase. It's like a mini Kalit. I don't know why they just can't unban Kalit. Or Kaluga, or whatever you want to call it. I'd much prefer they just unbanned Kalit. This is an Synchro for Fire Fist. When this card is Synchro, one Fire Tuner, one more non-tuner monsters, so it's pretty generic for them. When this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon one level 3 Fire monster from your deck. After you Synchro Summon this card, you cannot special summon level 5 or higher monsters for the rest of the turn. I don't think it's particularly good. I'm not going to use any of these things. Fire Fist Spirit cannot be used as a Synchro Material monster except for basically the summon of that thing that we just showed you. When this card is normal summon, you can target one level 3 fire monster with 200 or less defense in your graveyard, special summon that target and face up defense position. If you do, you can only attack with beast warrior type monsters from the rest of this turn. You can only activate this effect once per turn. Very, very specific cards these. But this might just be worth teching one of. 2 level 3 fire monsters. Once per turn, you can detach one Exi material from this card, then target one fire monster in your graveyard. Add that target to your hand, but you cannot normal summon or special summon that monster or a monster with the same name for the rest of the turn. So you do run 2 of some of your level 3s. It might just be worth teching one in. It's very handy. If you've run out of supplies, you can just, I'll just chuck it back into the hand. It's good. It's handy. And that brings us to the end. That's all 100 cards. And it's taken us 45 minutes. So I doubt anyone will have gone through all of that. But if you have, thank you very much. And now, I'm going to announce the tournament that we're going to do. I'll put up a video in the next week or so. And I'll do a contest which will result in winning either a Vanguard playmat or a Yu-Gi-Oh playmat, and I'll ship it to you. It'll either be I've got one of the official Aichi playmats for Vanguard, or I've got a whole host of Yu-Gi-Oh ones. I'll choose one and I'll put it up in another video in a week or so. So there's plenty of time for this, but this will only take place once we're up to 100 subscribers. I'll release the contest, but we need to be 100 subscribers before I actually do the contest. Yeah, so that's Cosmo Blazer. It seems to be a really balanced set. There's not too much that are overpowered. I'm just going to show you a couple of the cards in Lord of the Detaching Galaxy, because it's pretty ridiculous. Have we got the... This thing's crazy. Modulci Hoot Cake. Because Modulci are pretty crazy already. When this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck, standard. You can target one monster in your graveyard, banish that target, then special summon one Madolchi from your deck, except Madolchi Hootcake. What? That's absolutely ridiculous. Opens up so many plays. Then there's these, which basically say banish 2 dragon type or earth monsters from your hand. They all say 2 dragon type or whatever type it is from your hand or graveyard except this card. Special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. During your opponent's end phase, if the card was special summoned, return it to the hand. You can send this card and one other earth monster from your hand to the graveyard to target one monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. When this card is banished, add 1 earth dragon type monster from your deck to your hand. So basically, it's ridiculous. This is basically they copy what their elemental lords do. So this is like Grand Soil, it special summons something. This is the water one, and it sends a water monster from your deck to graveyard, which isn't the best part of it. It's the fact that you can send from your hand to the cost. So for Mermails, it's really good. This is probably the worst